What is up, guys? It is Jed Wrestling here, back again with another video. And one of the most common comments that I get relates to stop motion. Anytime I make a stop motion episode or a stop motion short or anything stop motion related, I always get a comment from a couple particular people that's like, how do you do it? How do you make your stop motion so good? I've been wanting to get into stop motion. Can you make like a tutorial or something on how to do it? And that's what we will be doing today. I'm going to be showing you the behind the scenes process of how I make stop motion. This is going to be pretty much my version of WWE Unreal. I want to open this video by talking about the things that you are going to need in order to make stop motion animation. First and foremost, you are going to need figures. Now, here I have the Ultimate Edition Series 21 Cody Rhodes and the Ultimate Edition, I believe that's 25 Finn Balor Regular Edition. Two really nice articulated figures. Obviously, you're going to want figures that are nicely articulated. So preferably use either Elites or Ultimate Editions in your animation. And of course, use characters that you're interested in. If you're interested in like 80s wrestling, 90s wrestling, 2000s wrestling, maybe you just care about the modern wrestling, like just use what piques your interest. When you're making stop motion, you want your heart to be in it. You wanna make something that you're interested in making. Use characters that you're interested in using. So here I have, of course, two modern characters in Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor. Next thing you're going to need is pretty important. You can't do much of anything stop motion related without it, and it is a camera or any sort of capture source. There are some big animators I see who use their phones for stop motion, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I just think using a proper camera is better. This particular brand of camera is the stop motion explosion camera. You can get it in like a stop motion explosion like box set or something. I don't know exactly what it's called, but this is a really good camera. This piece down here, you can move it into like any shape that you want, so you can connect it on anything and have it suspended in the air if you want, and it won't fall. It has this nice quality adjuster, and the HD quality on this is really good, by the way. What I do is I plug this thing into my laptop, and then it allows me to obviously see what's going on through this camera lens and take pictures, which is of course how you make stop motion. And yeah, this is a really good camera. I do highly recommend it. Of course, a ring, which I'm assuming that most of you have, and a table. Now let me get a view of the table here. It's kind of a mess over there. Just ignore that. I'm in the process of building a new shelf, and I'll probably make a video on the shelf once I'm done with it. But anyways, this is my table that I use. It's a lifetime table. It's white and it's really good quality. I'm sure you could get it. I got mine off of Amazon a couple years ago. I'm sure you could find it in like a Walmart or a Target or something. But the one that I have is the one that you can adjust the height on. There's like three different settings of height, and the one that I have right now is pretty much the one that's in the middle. You can get it really short, really tall, or you can get it at the level that I have it right now, which is obviously most preferable for me. You can play around with it if you want. You can see what works best for you. But mark my words, you're not going to want to be animating on the floor. Trust me, I've done it before. It sucks. You hurt your back, and it's just not preferable. It's hard to animate when you are doing your job on the floor. And the last piece of equipment I wanted to list today is another pretty integral one, and it is string. Now, when you have your string, I use fishing string, by the way. Some people use other stuff, but I use fishing string. When you have your string, you're going to want to have it tied in kind of a circular formation like this. It's kind of hard to explain how exactly to tie it. I might do it in like a future short or something because I don't actually have any extra string on me right now that's not tied. But when you do tie your string, you're gonna want it to like close like this really tight at the end. It's kind of hard to explain, but let me show you why we have to tie our string in such a manner. Because if you grab your figure, if you tie the string around him and you're holding it like this, then you're obviously clenching your hand and he's gonna swing around. Like you can see that he's sort of spinning around a little bit. But if you do have your string tied and you're holding it in a very similar manner to this, then you're gonna put your figure on the string and it's not going to swing around. Even if you move him, it's not going to spin around at all. You can do whatever you want. You can get them in the different poses, and there's a lot of different string placements. The one that I had was like under his armpits. So if you want him to be like running, for example, then that's the position that you're going to want to have the string. So here's Cody Rhodes in a running position, and as you can see, I have the string hooked under his armpits. And there's a couple different string placements that I'm about to show you right now. If you want to animate a splash of any kind where your figure's in this position, then you're going to want to grab your string and you're going to want to hook it around one of the arms and then one of the feet. That way you can distribute the tension across a more large area, and thus that will allow it to not spin. Then you can fully animate the splash going down. If you want to animate something like a Cody cutter where your figure goes from a vertical position to a position where their back is sort of facing the ground, then you're going to want to hook your string through their arm and then possibly through their hand for some extra support, and have your piece of string on the opposite foot as well. And by the way, I forgot to mention, if you hook your string on the right arm, then you're going to also want to hook it on the left foot. Or if you hook it on the left arm, you're going to want to also hook it on the right foot. It just allows for more balance and makes it so it doesn't spin. But yeah, you can send Cody back like this and then have him grab onto Finn Balor and then bring them both down with the Cody cutter, which if you're wondering how to do that, then I will now show you how to animate a Cody Cutter slash RKO. So after you have the person grabbed onto their opponent, you're going to want to stick their heads together while also having the arms grabbed onto the head of the opponent. Now, I do have a rubber band there. I don't normally do that for RKOs, but this is just for explanation purposes to make sure it doesn't like fall while I'm trying to explain it or something. That'd be pretty awkward. But what you're going to want to do is attach the string to the foot or slash the knee of the person that is giving the move, but I'm just going to attach it to his foot. And then you're going to hook the string through the opponent's leg like this, if you can see that. And it might take a couple tries. It might take maybe hooking the string around the person's hand or something to make it look better. But yeah, you can suspend it in the air and it won't spin after a while, and you can bring them down, make the opponent gradually change positions so they will be brought down stomach first for the Cody Cutter slash RKO. And now that all the strength stuff is out of the way, I'm going to be showcasing how to do a basic punch in stop motion. So obviously you're going to want to have a good stance on both guys to make sure they're not going to fall. And you're going to want to also make your movements smooth. So try to take like as many frames as possible with as little movements as possible, if that makes sense. So maybe when you're doing a punch, maybe move them only like that much, because and obviously you're going to want a smoother movement, but you're also going to want to try to utilize as much articulation as possible. So maybe before you take the frame, move the arms of the person or something, or maybe move their head around a little bit, because the more articulation that you use on the figures, the more that it's going to bring your animation to life and thus make it better. So, and obviously, when you eventually have them connect with the punch, be sure to have the person like react to it in some way. It can be something small. It can be something small like turning their head or something. Maybe you can have them crash down on the mat using some string. Maybe you can have them like turn the whole body like that. But there's a lot of things you can do with basic punches and stop motion. Obviously, it might be a little different than if you're like a boxing action figure animator, or maybe a Cobra Kai animator or something if you have the Cobra Kai figures. But I was just showcasing like how to make a wrestling punch and how to make that work. But yes, that's pretty much how to do it. But yes, guys, that about does it for today's stop motion tutorial video. I hope you enjoyed, and I also sincerely hope that you found this helpful or beneficial in some capacity. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video or my Q&A video, which is coming tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Jed Wrestling out.